So you want to get rich in your 20s? Well, I'm going to show you how you can do it realistically and how I was able to do it. And at the end of this video, I'm going to give you an example of someone else and interview them and show how they made $40,000 in a single day when they didn't come from money or didn't have any sort of special head start. So we're going to be wasting absolutely no time here. The first thing you need to do is develop a marketable skill so you're able to market yourself and you're able to be seen as valuable in the marketplace. Now, don't worry about investing and making a bunch of money through investing. If you only have $10, $20, $30,000 or even less to your name, you're not going to become rich from investing. You need to focus on building a high value skill that's going to be able to earn you lots and lots of money. Developing that high value skill is going to take some time, but you need to learn how to market yourself and show the marketplace that you're valuable and you're deserving of a lot of money. So for example, how I showed the marketplace that I was deserving and valuable of a lot of money is I started to do photography and I started to post my photos on the internet and post my photos on Instagram and show people how good my actual photos were and show people, hey, I provide value. I am a great photographer. I can shoot brands. I can shoot companies. I can shoot anything that you want, cars even, and I will do a great high-class job. And that is how I started to show my value in the marketplace. And I started to make connections, I started to grow, I started to meet new people, and I started to get paid for my work. That's not what ended up buying me this car or the Aventador that you see in this video. What started actually making me the real money is when I started, instead of working from one person to one company, I started working from one person to many people, as in I would start posting my videos on TikTok and I would go live on TikTok to tens, hundreds, or even thousands of people where I could get donations, give advice, tell people how I did the same thing, tell people and show people how I was able to make the connections to work with Logan Paul, to work with Jake Paul, to work with all these huge internet celebrities. Now, the next thing that you want to focus on is maximizing your income early. I think it's super important that you make a conscious decision whether or not you want to go to school and spend 4 more years in school, or if you want to get straight to working. Now, what I did, and what a lot of other very successful people did, is went straight to working. But you need to have something that's already working for you. Now, if you're making no money, I highly recommend not just dropping out and going for it. You need to do both things at the same time. I was in school and I was working, and then when I started to earn enough money where I didn't have to go to school anymore, that's when I stopped. I didn't just say, screw it, I'm stopping school and I'm trying this out. No, that's not how it works. That's not how you're going to be successful doing it. You have to do both first. But the years from 17, 18, 19, 20, you're going to have the most energy you're ever going to have. So you want to make sure you maximize your income as much as you possibly can and save as much as you possibly can. If you save all of your money from 17, 18, 19 years old, when you're even my age, at 24 years old, your money will have grown for years and years and years and appreciated in the stock market, in these basic stocks. And we'll talk about investing just a little bit later in this video. But being able to earn a lot of money early and then put it away for later is one of the best assets that you can have. The best thing to thank yourself for your hard work early on. Every single time I look at this car, I'm still in shock of how beautiful it is. I can't believe that it's actually mine. I can't believe I'm 24 years old and I'm able to own something like this. And it's because I took risks and I wanted to have a high income skill and be able to develop a high income when I was young. I didn't focus on investing. I didn't take the $20K that I had from photography and try to make it into $1 million with a meme coin. I focused on my skills and building skills that will create me a high income, and then I put it into safe investments, long-term investments that will create me wealth. And now 6 years later, from 18 to 24, I'm able to have something like this. And we're going to hear it start up. Another thing I cannot stress how important it is to live below your means. I've seen so many people make so much money and then they just live above their means and they end up losing it all and blowing it all. I've met so many people who made millions of dollars as kids, whether they were a kid actor or they were a big YouTuber as a young kid, and they made so much money, and then now that they're 20, 25 years old, they have absolutely nothing to show for it because they lived above their means, they thought it would last forever, and they didn't invest in safe, long-term plays. Now, if you're fortunate enough to make millions of dollars when you're in your teens or early 20s, you can turn that into $100 million by the time you're 50, 60 years old with safe plays. And not to mention, $100 million at 60 years old is also still like $50 million at 40 years old. And you can do whatever you would like with $50 million. That is pretty much an endless amount of money with the money that you can be making off of that money. So invest wisely, invest smart, and live below your means. I can't stress how important that is to live below your means and be able to have money and have a safety net and be able to put money away. So money loves time, and money has an interesting correlation with time. The longer you have money and the longer you keep money, the more that it grows over time. Now, money and time are two very interesting things. You cannot get more time. You can't change time. You can't alter time. Time is what it is. And money, a dollar, is a dollar. Now, the dollar is slowly and slowly going down, while time is slowly, slowly increasing. Now, when you invest in things, you're able to make your money and time link. Now, as time goes up, your money goes up. Now, when you look at long periods of time, like 5, 10-year long periods, that's when you start to see real growth, real appreciation, and real net worth building for you. So the more that you can earn, the earlier that you can earn it, and the longer that you can keep it invested in stocks, bonds, safe things. Don't try to risk a bunch of money, especially when you're young. You want to build that, and you'll thank yourself when you're 30, 40, 50 years old. You'll have millions and millions of dollars put away. Oh. Woo. Whew. It's hot in here. Oh boy. It is warm. Oh, I absolutely love this car. This car is just absolutely wild. I think the biggest thing that I learned and that I needed to learn from myself is to be patient. Like, being patient is the hardest thing when you're 17, 18, 19, almost getting hit in the SV because someone's not paying attention. But being patient is like the hardest thing. Oh my gosh. I can't even focus, this car is so loud. If you're 17, 18, 19 years old, you need to just be patient. Because when you're 24, I still feel very young. I still feel very much like a kid, but I'm patient and I understand it. I need to work at something for years and years and years. Now, when you're 18 to 24, that's 6 years. If you work on something and work hard at the same thing for 6 years in a row, I can absolutely promise you that you will be successful and you will be in the place that you want to be at. So if you can dedicate 4, 5, even 6 years to something, there's no reason why you shouldn't be successful. So here's your POV, windows open, back window open for everything on a straight piped Aventador SV. Such an insane, spaceship looking feel. Oh my gosh. Downshift. Oh, this could be yours. This could all be yours. Woo. Oh my God. Just the most insane experience ever. I mean, it's literally like you're piloting a rocket ship. It's absurd. Completely absurd. Oh my gosh. Wow. Now I'm going to give you guys some free game here, even though everything I have here is free game because I have nothing to sell you and I don't sell anything. But the free game is that I use the app Acorns. It's not sponsored. It's not nothing. I'm not even going to do anything. I just use Acorns and I have it auto invest for me weekly, and it also rounds up on my credit card. So after a few months now, I've been able to save up $23,000 invested into the stock market, and that's going to continue to grow. And when I'm 60 years old, that'll be $8 million from just a couple $100 every single week that I'm not even noticing. I'm not even noticing it, and it's going to turn into $8 million when I'm 40 years old. It is absolutely insane at the power of compounding growth, compounding interest, and the amount of money that you can make by just setting something up like Acorns. It is not rocket science to make money, you guys. It's not hard to make a lot of money. You just have to be patient. You have to stick with something for a very, very long time, work really, really hard at it, and then develop a high income earning skill. Sounds like a lot. It's not a lot. This is the point of your life, is to build something worth a lot of value, to build something that you can grow with and that you can make a lot of money with and that you can enjoy and live life how you want to live. Trust me, trust me, trust me, it is worth it. So this is an example of a new business venture that I'm starting, and we're going to be starting to sell cars. So this is the first car that we've gotten. This is a Ferrari 488 GTB Spider. Now this thing is so much fun. We're selling it for $239,000. So if any of you have an extra $239,000 laying around, or $3,200 a month, you can get yourself in one of these cars. But this is just an example of, I'm always trying to do new business opportunities, always starting new businesses and focusing on these businesses and building off of my social media and my personal brand presence to be able to do things like this and have cars like this. And it's, what day is it? It's a Tuesday right now at like 2 o'clock, and we're able to film with this car, be out in the sun, and have a good time filming with this Ferrari and really, truly enjoying the car. So here's your POV driving the 488 Spider here. It's in hold, though. It's in lock position right now, so you gotta press that. Now you're unlocked. Click it into first gear here, and we are off. Imagine this is your POV when you're 20, 22 years old, 25 years old, being able to drive and own a car like this. And yes, it is just as sick as you would ever imagine, and like so much fun with your horn on here. Really, really strange, really interesting, but beautiful view. And POV, you're driving your Ferrari 488 Spider. You like?
I love. This is so cool.
Yeah,
I just saw that. You could honk by driving aggressively and not have to like click here.
Yeah.
Look at that guy, look at that guy.
He just keeps looking. Here we are with repeat offender Joe Murphy of the YouTube videos here. You've seen the 812. But I wanted to stop by because Joe made $40,000 on a trade today, and I'm like, bro, this will be perfect for the video about what we could learn about how to get rich in your 20s realistically, because I know you didn't start with hundreds of thousands of dollars or really anything. We're in front of your auto body shop here, and you also trade. So tell me about a little bit about what's going on.
So pretty much, so I've been at this for 8 years now, trading and the body shop. It definitely didn't start with $40,000 days, but it started with conquering myself and my mindset. I had to change the way that I thought about money, so that way while I'm making money here with my hours, trading allows me to make money with my money. So it got to a point where I would scale, control my emotions. I know we're younger, so sometimes we get a little emotional, something like that. If you're gonna be successful, realistically, you have to learn to control your emotions. So I got to a point now where I could take good risk in the market, risk some good capital, and risk reward ratio, $40,000 days is pretty average now.
That's incredible. So how old are you now?
I'm 27.
Okay, so you're getting up there in the 20s, getting to uncle status, you know, dad status, almost 30 years old now. When you started, when you were just 20, 21, even 18, 19 years old, how did you like go about starting and sticking to it?
So it got to a point where when I first started, nobody talks about this, and this is every industry. When you're starting something, nobody talks about the exposure to too much information. You have to be strategic with what you're learning, and in reality, reading and analyzing a lot of stuff, you got to just start doing it. The more you do it, the more you'll actually see, okay, this really works. I've heard this before, but this is kind of BS. You build a foolproof, this is useful information, this is not useful information. And as you grow, every single experience you have, you build and you learn from it. The biggest thing is when I was young, 18, 19, I was conscious of everything. I wasn't going through the motions. Like when I made a mistake, I was like, all right, how did I make the mistake? Why did I make this mistake? Even when I won, I went, okay, why did I win? What did I do right? And every time I did it, I engraved it in my brain. So I learned, don't do this again, keep doing this. And after so many years, it compounds to where you can sit here and say you had a $40,000 day.
If you could give yourself one piece of advice when you were 20 years old, looking back at yourself now at 27, what would you say to yourself?
Have a sense of urgency. I took a little bit of time off from trading when like in the middle because I blew up an account, and after like 90 different tries, I was like, all right, I need to take a break. I wish I would have had a more sense of urgency to push through that period, because I would probably be a year advanced than where I'm at now, because I went through the motions a little bit. I was like, I'll get back to it. When you're young, you should have the highest sense of urgency, because you can get so much farther ahead if you actually have a sense of urgency. Like, look at Cam. He's 24. He's got an SV. He's got a real estate portfolio. He should feel like, all right, I need to hustle so much in the next 3 years so that when I'm 27, I can laugh at Joe and be like, look at how much better a 27-year-old than I am than you were.
That's the goal. So you're telling me that you didn't always just make amazing trades and you weren't just always perfect from the start? You actually lost sometimes?
I actually lost. I blew up multiple 5-figure accounts. I would literally make money from here, put it into account, blow it. Then give it a second, make some money here, put it in an account, blow it. Over and over and over again.
Wow, so you weren't just an overnight success that like made money instantly off the rip like everyone posts on social media.
Sadly enough, I haven't been trading for 6 months and now selling a course. It's been 8 years, no trust fund, nothing in between, just hard work, dedication. That's it.
Amazing. Thank you. So another guest I'm here with, which you've also seen on the channel before, I'm here with Austin from Boston, the owner and CEO of Valvetronic Designs, and we're here in a 750S. How'd you get such a cool job? Woo! Sounds nice.
So, hey, if it sounded bad, I'd be out of business. Here's the thing, I am very blessed, extremely fortunate, because the way I was raised, I was taught that the value of $1, I was taught that I had to earn whatever I wanted to have my life look like. So we all see on Instagram, people have very glamorous existences and such, but for me, it's always been, I was never the cool kid in high school. I was never the kid with all the girls and all the stuff. But now, I'm very, very blessed to have had that challenging existence, as my son will have, because it allows you to really enjoy the fruitful existence of what a really cool life can be. So we're driving somebody else's McLaren 750S today, full Valvetronic exhaust, like really able to enjoy the experience, because there were some sacrifices that I made, which kind of came in the presence of having no friends until I met you. But having no friends and having nothing to do was like, all right, I might as well make some money. So that's where we're at.
If you had one piece of advice to give yourself to your 20-year-old self, now that you're 26 years old, what would you say?
I'd probably say, don't be in too much of a rush. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know what I'd say, because I feel like we're all victims of circumstances, right? I did certain things and now I am the way I am because of those circumstances. At that point, I would say shoot for the moon, like just fucking get after it. And it's because I did, and that was the mentors that I had. They all told me the same thing. They were just like, you got to just really shoot for it, because if you don't, let's say I set a target of 500 million and I missed the mark, but I'm at 250. I'm like, all right,
you're still doing pretty good.
Not bad.
Yeah,
not bad. But so, if I didn't set the target and I set the target at 1 million and I fell short by 500,000, okay, that's great. But for me, I have people around me who are chasing billions. They're chasing billions, and these people, they operate on a different level. So it's nice to draw that semblance from them, but also remember that what's important: family, time with friends, being present, trying new things. So life is not all about making money, but I would say that because I have money.
Thanks.
Unk status is wild. You have no idea the amount of volume of Unk status I get now is like, it's terrible. There's someone in my course named Kevin. He's 29. He's calling me Unk. He's older than me, and he's calling me Unk. I'm like, what the fuck?
I mean, you are getting up there now. You know, you're getting up there.
How old are you?
24.
I'm getting old, dog. This is crazy, bro. This is so crazy.